Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Project Freelander. I'm not even sure if I've done a video on the car when it's, well, not more or less sorted, just progress underway. I think I did the initial video. This one, I just thought I'll give you a walk around what I've done. I did a quick polish on it. I gave it a quick wash the other day and I've given it a quick hand polish today, but I still need to do a jet wash on it with the snow foam because there's still bits of moss here and there on it, which I want to blast out the windows and stuff. Obviously I know these things can leak like a sieve, so I'm certainly not going to be blasting it too hard, you know, but there's still bits around here. I'm sure there was somewhere else. There's bits on like around the roof and around just the LandRover emblems. Going to get all that cleaned. But anyways, from the first time we've seen it, looks alright, doesn't it? What did I do the other day? Track rod ends, done those. Brand spanking new. As you can see, I've painted like stone chip and wax oiled all the underbody. Put the upgraded lights in. What else have I done? Oh yes, this is an automatic. I did a full automatic gear oil change the other day. Had some oil sitting there, so I thought I may as well use it, so it didn't cost us nothing. I think it's come up quite nice. Obviously there's a few more bits and bobs I want to get done to it. We'll have a quick look inside. I'll just move that document out the way. Come up lovely. I mean, the first time round I'd already cleaned it anyway, so I've just cleaned it a bit more this time round. And I've put obviously my bits of stuff in, got the child seat, things like that. Still obviously this door's a mess, but the wind is secure, so it doesn't bother us too much. In the back, put a load liner in. Got a few of my bits and bobs in there. As we all know, the mill has fuel additive, dip butane, it's great, and just some body cleaner, and that was the track rod ends. I'm just waiting before I put the dog in. I want a cover to put down the back of these seats. That'll do for the bottom for him. But when you've got a Springer Spaniel, doesn't matter what you do, the interior is going to get absolutely up the eyes anyway. So yeah, I'll go into the bonnet, I'll explain how things have gone, what I've done. Looking alright in there now as well. Covers over the seats, mainly for the kids and the dog hairs. It's running absolutely brilliant this now. I'll go more into depth under the bonnet, I'll explain. Probably have to bear with this here because it's a bit of a two-handed job. Especially when I'm holding the phone, so just bear with this. So you'll have all seen on previous videos, but I'll upload the other video before this point. What I've done, obviously it's got the high pressure boost hoses, which it already had on. EGR valve's been deleted. But like I've mentioned, this is still a factory look one. So for MOT purposes, it's got a vacuum going to it. It has the actual, I don't know if you can see down there, it does actually connect up to the EGR system. So you can't actually like fail it by saying it is connected, there is a bar there, and you can't assume that that bar isn't hollow. And there's actually gas going in, so it's not 100%, but it's a lot better for MOT purposes. We know we've done the filter. I've also replaced all of the vacuum pipe into the EGR and the one which runs off this vacuum accumulator down underneath here, down the back of the engine to the turbo actuator. Changed the crankcase ventilation filter, oil and filter, cleaned all the inlet manifold, done the electrical repairs as we've mentioned, and what else was there? Well, quite a few bits and bobs, new wipers. But the main thing was, thanks to Mad Brian, if anybody wants to know anything about this guy, just send us a message below and I'll ask permission of him if I can share his details. This guy, what he does not know about electrics on Rover 75s and Freelanders is not worth knowing. He gave me this car was in with electrical fault, as you've already seen the video. It had burnt out wiring to the fuel pump, the low pressure pump at the back, which it's actually got a new pump anyways. He also put a remapped ECU in here for this car, a newer one. I think it's out of an 05 or an 06 Freelander, so with the updated software, and it's got I think a 140 or 150 brake horsepower remap. And I'll tell you one thing, mind, this car drives absolutely great, but you have got to be careful with these because you've got like, I think it's like a viscous coupling of some kind on the gearbox. Obviously these engines are much better than what's in the Rover 75s. They've got a Mitsubishi, like a single vane spring loaded turbo. These have got a full, like a VNT, like variable nozzle turbo. These engines are more or less exactly the same as what's in the BMW 3 Series, not tuned down. I think the only difference is these have got a cast crank, BMWs have got a a forged crank, but that's when you're getting into stupid power. But these can be tuned so much more powerful, but the problem is, the weak point is the viscous coupling and all of your drive shafts and God knows what on these things. They just can't take the power. So you could easily remap one of these well above 160 brake horsepower, no problem, but you would just rip your gearbox and internals and all of your four-wheel drive system to bits. So this has got between 140 and 150 brake horsepower, but it's the torque. I don't know what the figures were 100%, but I'm telling you what, especially with this being an auto, my God, this thing doesn't half pull hard. I mean, I think if you went mental with it, you could probably do some damage and break something. But I just drive it sensible, and I just know it's got the power there to do any kind of overtaking manoeuvres. Not that I do, but it's nice when you come to a hill, it pulls itself up absolutely effortlessly. Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, I drive like lots of different cars, and this is so quick for what it actually is. I was actually planning on just moving this on and selling it, but I think I'm going to keep it for through the winter. It drives absolutely fantastic, and I can imagine for doing off-road work as well, having that extra power, that extra torque, it's going to do a lot of good for off-roading. Obviously, you don't use all that kind of power, like spinning wheels and stuff, but just to get you up inclines and stuff, all that extra torque in a lower gear helps you so much. So yeah, over the moon with this. I have got more work I want to do to it. 2 flexi brake hoses on the front, which I'm going to get the parts for. What else was there? There was all that bits and bobs I was going to do to it. I'm sure. Oh, on this, yes. I'm going to I've freed this caliper off at the front here, but when I had it on the lift the other day, the wheel's still slightly tight, so before it does any damage warping that disc, may possibly stick a caliper on. But while I'm doing the caliper, like I've mentioned, I'll do the flexi brake hose and do the one on the other side. There'll be other stuff to come, but like I've said, up to now, that's what I've done. I've done a lot more than what I've just mentioned. Like literally every single plug that I've took off, I've cleaned it, put the silicone grease into them to stop any moisture getting in. Every fuse has been cleaned when we're looking for the electrical problems. It's had the full works done basically, but I'll keep this as a short one. This is just what I would more class as an update video on Project Freelander, just because a few people have been asking about it. So I'll catch you in another video. If you like it, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.